Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Avax. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now let's jump straight into the TA. So jumping into the daily chart on TradingView, as you can see, we still have the good old Fibonacci retracement. If you don't know how to use the Fibonacci retracement, make sure to check out the video linked in the description. I explain in that video how to use the Fibonacci retracement to set up long-term and short-term targets. So taking a look at the swing low here, we have printed this low all the way back in 2021 in July, and the swing high was all the way back in February of 2021. As you can see, we came back down below the 0.236, and right now we broke above it, and hopefully we're going to back test it as support, print that higher low, and continue into this towards the next Fibonacci levels that we'll take a look at in a second. I was expecting us to come back down lower than $10. That didn't happen, and that's fine. What also happened, which is important, is that we retested this support block that I've had on the charts since July of 2021. I remember this precisely when I set this up, and I told you guys back during that summer that this would be a pretty good buying opportunity, and indeed it was, because afterwards we saw this massive move to the upside. We got overextended, and here I told you that, well, you can take some profits, or if you want to sell, you can sell your entire position, because we're getting pretty overextended. We're running into the resistance level at the 1.414, and we're going to see a pullback. Indeed, we did see a strong pullback afterwards, and then we saw a little retracement to the upside. You still had another chance to take profits, and then we rolled over all the way down to $60. So yeah, that's how we use the Fibonacci retracement to have this nice trade. And from where we started, let's just see how powerful this was. So this was approximately 1300% move to the upside. So a 14x you could have done on that move. And Avax has once again bounced off that support block. As you can see, we touched on this in the last video. We saw a wick below that. So already you're in profit, in real good profit, approximately 114% in the moment there when we peaked out. Right now, you're sitting at 69%, and you're coming back down to the next support block that we're targeting here, which is between $16.85 all the way down to $16.06. So that's a support block that we've created by having multiple bounces off of it in 2022, and hopefully right now we managed to hold it as support, because if we don't, we're going to be coming back down to the 0.236, and then I think we're going to be coming back down to retest this local high in December of 2022, which is at $13.86. We are also dumping below this previous support level, and we're retesting it as resistance. We're in between the EMAs right now, so for now we're consolidating here. The EMAs are coming closer together. If we see a move to the downside, we get the bearish cross, and we continue with the move to the downside. If Bitcoin decides it wants to pump even further, then we obviously have a move to the upside. We get the continuation, and we've already seen the bullish cross here, January 14th. At that point, we're sitting at $16. So if you entered there, you could have taken profits at $21, $22 here, and that would have been a nice trade as well if this is your entry signal. But I would be more focused on the weekly bullish cross, especially on the Bitcoin chart. You also have a major support level all the way down here in case we do come down, right? You do need to be prepared for every scenario, for every flash crash, all the way down here at $11.75. And well, I don't think we're going to be coming back down to this low specifically at $10.60, all the way down to $9.40. However, if that does happen, you are still aware that that's our support block. That is where you want to be buying in. Because if Bitcoin is not going to be coming back down below, let's say $16,000, then I don't think we're going to see AVAX below $9.40. So this was a perfect bounce, perfect entry for anyone. I would have, if I was looking to enter AVAX, I would have probably entered, if I had like, let's say $10,000 and I wanted to put that into AVAX, I would have probably bought, I would have probably put 80% of that at this point here at $10.62, because that would have been a very, very solid entry. And already you can take profits and you can take out that $8,000, and because you already did a 2x here. So AVAX doing okay right now. Our major target is going to be the August swing high. So once we break through that, that is when I officially can state that the bear market bottom is in. However, you can still, you should still expect a black swan event or any sort of flash crash, because whatever happens in the world affects all the markets, including the crypto markets. So we're not safe from that. And you have to have spare cash at all times so that if we see a strong capitulation, you're ready to buy the dip, just like we saw the same thing play out here in March of 2020. Actually, AVAX was not trading at that point. So in regards to the long-term targets, we're going to take a look at that on the Binance chart here. I want to show you some of the fib levels we have for our next target. So the 0.382 at $19.12, the 0.5 at $23.82, the 0.618, which is the golden ratio, which rejected us back down here in August. So that was our debt CAD bounce completion. At $29.67. So I think getting back to those levels sometime during August of 2023, so this year, or maybe getting closer to the end of the year, we could be sitting at these prices for AVAX, if not higher. Let's see how this goes. Taking a look at the daily RSI, we're hoping to see a retest off of the yellow support trend line, if not the red support trend line. If not, then the support block below, which is set up between 32.5 all the way down to 29 on the RSI. And that has been a great entry point ever since August of 2022. So every time you came back down to this area, you saw a very, very strong move to the upside. So I would be looking at this level here. If you're looking to get into AVAX, you haven't done that, let's say, this is going to be a very good entry point. So draw this out on your chart, and the yellow support trend line is based off of these touches that we've had recently. And if you are going to see another one here, I would say that's a pretty good entry point, mathematically speaking, because we could see a pump afterwards, because that's what we've seen every time we come back down to the yellow trend line. But let's not speculate, and this is not a financial advice. Obviously, you have to do your own research. Now let's jump straight into the weekly chart. And before we continue, guys, I quickly want to talk about my Patreon. Now, if you want to get involved, there's going to be a 7-day free trial. So you can go ahead and join, and you're going to get access to all of my content since I started posting on Patreon, which was all the way back in October of 2021. So there are hundreds and hundreds of posts with low cap gems, my exclusive podcasts that I do for patrons only, my low cap gem reviews, project highlights, your technical analysis requests, exclusive videos for patrons. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there that I don't share on YouTube or Twitter as to add more value to it. And I also share all of my buys, all of my sells. I share my portfolio in there. So if that's something that you're interested in and you really want to support the channel, then feel free to check it out. Thank you. Jumping into the weekly chart, we're holding the 20 EMA as support here. So this is very bullish in my opinion. If we manage to stay above the 20 EMA and we can start making our way to the upside here, and we manage to break above the 55 and we have the 20 cross to 55, we get that bullish cross on the weekly chart, that's going to be your major buying signal. So this was your major selling signal, as this was the bearish cross, but at that point we were already sitting at $20. So since that, you had a move to the upside, and then you had a capitulation down, but still this was a bit too late for us, but still that was sort of your confirmation of the bear market. So if we manage to get this bullish cross here, in 2023, I think that's going to be a major signal that we're going to be seeing a bull market, some sort of a bull market in 2024 and in 2025. And we're breaking out of the falling wedge that we've been targeting for the past couple of months, and our major target here is still sitting where the falling wedge was created, which is at around about 29 cents, and that's exactly almost where the 55 weekly EMA is. So potentially after this slight pullback, we're going to have another move to the upside, taking out that falling wedge target. You also have a support block here, and you're between 15.5 or rather, around about that's around about $16 all the way down to $14. That's going to be a nice entry point. We had a bounce there in June last year, in October last year. We had a rejection in November, and now we broke above, and we want to see that back test. So if that happens, obviously that means we're losing the 20 EMA, so that's not an ideal situation. It could be a quick wick though, just like we saw over here in June. So I'm okay with that. You can set up some buy limit orders just to make sure that your orders get filled, even when you're asleep. And you, of course, have this support trend line at $10.70. Jumping into the weekly RSI, you can see that we broke out of this channel down pattern, which was typical. We were expecting this channel down patterns are typically broken to the upside, and we saw a move all the way above these two resistance trend lines that I gave you, and we're coming back down now. We're bouncing off 46.9. Hopefully, we're going to see a move to the downside where you guys can enter here at 41.74. as we did have a move off of that in June and July of 2021. So that was a great entry, and I'm hoping that we see that happen one more time. So we have a little lower high and then a move to the downside. But some projects have already gotten all the way up here on the weekly RSI. Can you imagine that? And that's how bullish some of these projects were. For example, I'm going to show you something real quick. So I talked about this project way before the previous bull market even started, or even ended, I should say. So this was MAN. So this is MAN AI Network, and we've been following this project for a very long time on this channel. And this was mentioned to my Patreons as well on the Patreon. So you could have had this and you could have been buying into this way below a cent. And since this low in November, we have made 1,251%. So this is the value that my Patreon brings, and as you can see, the project is already printing that bullish cross on the weekly. So this could be the start of the bull market for this particular low cap project. So if you want more coins like this, feel free to check out the Patreon. Now, that is pretty much everything that I wanted to share with you in this video. We can also take a look at the stochastic here, but we're just recovering from the oversold, and the settings for the stochastic are set up as 14 and 28 so that we have less false signals. And the MACD is looking strong since the bullish cross in August. The histogram has flipped green, as you can see, and we're doing okay right now. So I wouldn't be expecting us going to the moon just yet. I would be conservative. I would be dollar cost averaging off of support levels, and just stay calm, try to work as much as you can, make that money, invest into crypto what you can, and let's hope that we can all become financially free, or at least financially stable in the next bull market. So that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. I'm going to see you in the next one. All the links are down below in the description. Take care and goodbye.